Later today, I will be live streaming the FOMC meeting and listening to the exact words coming out of the mouth of Fed Chair Jerome Powell. This is happening at a very pivotal moment for the crypto market, and I want to give you guys an urgent update ahead of this meeting. But subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell because we will be going live at 1:30 Central Standard Time to hear the comments from Fed Chair Powell. I've got a few things to discuss with you, a few ideas we need to consider ahead of this meeting happening in just a few hours. Now, if you're watching this later this evening, you can go back and watch that live stream that I do earlier today if you're watching this later in the day, but it is coming up later at the time of this recording. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about the impact of what comes next and what you need to know ahead of this FOMC meeting and how it's impacting altcoins, because I believe that it could. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing here is financial advice. Let's report on some of the crypto news, guys, and talk about what I'm seeing in the market. If you're peeking at Bitcoin, we're seeing this kind of a holding pattern right now. This is Ethereum facing resistance up around this $3,900 price level. And for Bitcoin, around this potential double top, everybody's scared of the double top, level of resistance right at around $120,000. We're below 120 right now, and we are coming up into a very highly anticipated moment for the day. Besides the FOMC meeting, we've got a very big piece of news happening today. The White House is actually set to unveil the closely watched crypto policy report, aka the crypto report. Hey, there it is. That's the name of this channel. Well, that's the name of the document we're waiting to see from the White House. I love it. That's the first time I've seen that happen. We are the crypto report, but the crypto report is coming from the White House later today. A cryptocurrency working group formed by President Trump is set to release a report on Wednesday, that's today, to outline the administration's stances on tokenization and market-defining crypto legislation, amongst other issues critically important to the digital asset industry. It is likely going to be a very bullish letter, and the way that this could all play out, hopefully perfectly, is later today. If you look at Yahoo Finance, look at the news, there's conversations about tariffs today, but there's also conversations around Fed set to hold rates steady, defying the president's call for a cut. Keyword, defying the president's call for a cut. What we want to see for risk on assets in crypto is a rate cut so we can get a risk on asset rally. But the Fed is not planning on cutting rates. So if the Fed doesn't cut rates, that might be a little bit more of a bearish factor for the crypto markets, or maybe something that wouldn't at least give us a catalyst to continue exploding and give us the moves that we need to see Bitcoin moving through this level of resistance and to see Ethereum move through this level of resistance. So when the Fed comes out later today, I'm prepared for kind of a hawkish Fed, somebody, again, defying the president's wishes. The president wants the rate cuts. The Fed is not ready to give them. But what we might see, which I can kind of be excited about today, is this crypto report that's coming out. Not our crypto report, the crypto report from the White House. And it is likely going to be quite bullish, right? There's going to be some language in there of how much and how much the president supports this cryptocurrency asset class, how much this government wants to, and how much the government should support this crypto asset class. These are all things that I think we can be pretty excited about. Well, there have been regulatory regimes in place that have been been piecemeal or have allowed the industry to grow in certain ways. The recommendations that we expect to see in the report will be a good roadmap for how to build out crypto as a continued important part of the economy growing forward. That is huge. That is the chief legal officer at the crypto firm Jito Labs. This is speculation, but I don't think it's just speculation. I think that these top industry leaders, like a CLO perhaps from a large crypto company, these are probably people that the working group that the president put in place, led by Bill Hines, including Secretary Scott Bessent, Paul Atkins from the SEC, and others, these people probably reached out, and we do know that they reached out to executives from Coinbase and other major crypto companies to get an idea of how can we grow this asset class? Because the president wants this to be the crypto capital of the world. And that's likely what this report is going to outline, actually how that becomes achievable. This is a quite bullish factor that we have to keep in mind for today. When you do look at the news and you see what's going on, tariffs are going up, the Fed ain't going to cut rates, that's a little bit doom and gloom. It gets people scared. On top of it, we are at key levels of resistance that we could easily reject off of, guys. Even with the crypto report coming out, you might see this thing take a little bit of a dip before we continue higher. So just maintaining proper expectations is key. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I know we're waiting for an altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance is kind of creeping back up right now. But if all of a sudden this crypto report is a bullish catalyst, it could send altcoins higher despite the lack of rate cuts at some point towards the end of this year. We should get a rate cut. If we don't, in 2026, I think we certainly will, because the president is going to appoint a new Fed Chair Powell, who's been opposing the president's calls for rate cuts, will be stepping aside whether he likes it or not. The end of his term will come at the end of the year, and we will have a new Fed, and we'll likely see rate cuts at some point in the future. So see, these are some of the things that are on my mind, and as we're looking at the volatility in these markets, there are trading opportunities. If you want to check out Blowfin or Bit2Next, these are exchanges that me and Blacksea personally use when it comes to trading. You could do copy trading, you could do futures trading, you could do spot trading, you could do demo trading if you're just trying to practice your trading. But as we see volatility like this, I think there are great opportunities to make some moves in the crypto space. Again, do your own research. I am not a financial advisor, but if you are looking to sign up for these platforms, there are sign-up bonuses in the description down below for these affiliates. And when you do sign up, it does help support the channel if you like these crypto updates. Overall, we're seeing crypto head in the right direction. That's why I want to show you this story as well, just to remind you. It's not just the White House coming out and putting out this path forward. Think about this. JP Morgan is going to allow crypto purchases with Coinbase. Coinbase stock's up a little bit today because of this announcement. This is a significant story for one reason in particular. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Chase Bank, has been one of the most staunch haters on the crypto space, calling it dumb like a rock, okay? He hated crypto. Still does, I think. But JP Morgan, the company he's the CEO of, is going to allow crypto purchases with Coinbase. We are headed in the right direction for this asset class. I believe that one day Bitcoin will be at $1 million. I think it can go higher. I still believe we should have some altcoin rallies happening. In these bull markets, I think we're still in a bull market, but we do have to remain cautious and keep our eye on the charts, as there is the risk of a potential double top here. However, I think we still have that big leg up still ahead. I'd love to see us break through these levels. What do you guys think? How important is this Fed meeting today? Do you think the Fed will crash the market, or do you think this White House policy crypto report will pump the markets? I'd like to hear from you in the comments down below. Do me a favor, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. DCA. Hold on, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. 2 videos here if you want to check them out. Until next time, folks. Peace. See you later.